What's up YouTube, welcome back to another video on my channel Skotrix, and today as you can see we are not on NBA 2K21 but we are actually going to be on this tier chart once again to be ranking the best defense badges in NBA 2K21 Next Gen. Now if you don't know, yesterday I did the best playmaking badges, the day before that I did the best shooting badges, and the day before that I did the best finishing, so this will be the final day in the series and it's going to be the best defense badges in NBA 2K21 Next Gen. I'm going to go over every single badge and put it in a tier right here from F being the worst to S being the best and tell you a little bit why I put it in each tier. I'm not going to go too deep into why I'm putting it into each tier because I really don't want the video to be too long. I'll just give a brief description so that you guys know what each badge does and why I'm putting it where I'm putting it. And I'll also talk a little bit about what positions and what specific builds the badge is best for. So yeah, before we get into that though, I just want to mention really quickly, if y'all have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you click that subscribe button. Only about 2% of people who watch my videos are actually subbed to my channel. So if you click that subscribe button right now, you can join the 2% gang. I really appreciate it. It helps a lot. And also I stream on Twitch. My Twitch link will be down in the description below. If you're interested in watching live streams, make sure you go follow me over there as well. I really appreciate all the support over there. But now with all that being said, without any further ado, let's get right into the video here. Alright, so we're going to get right into the badges right here. First one we have is going to be Worm, and I'm going to put Worm into the C category. This is really an okay badge. I think it's kind of underrated to a lot of people. A lot of people think it's just not good. It actually is decent. If you're a big man and you have enough defense badges to get Worm, just get it. Just get it onto just bronze and you'll be good enough. Worm is a really decent badge as long as you have enough badges to get it and you can get all of the better badges above it too. Then you should definitely consider investing into Worm because it is a solid badge. Next up right here we have Trapper. I'm going to put Trapper into the E category. I just really don't see the usage for Trapper. I know some people say it's decent, but there's just so many better badges. And if you want Trapper to be super effective, you really need 2 players to trap the offensive player, and that's really just a commitment that's not worth it. You really don't want to double team in the backcourt very much in 2K, and I mean you can trap somebody with 1 player, but you're not going to get animations that often, and it's really just not worth it. More often than not, you're going to get burned just from trying to press when you probably shouldn't be. So Trapper is in the E category. I really don't recommend it. You could put it on, but it's just, there's so many better badges. Don't put on Trapper. And next up right here we have Tireless Defender. I'm going to put Tireless Defender into the C category. This is a decent badge. If you find yourself running around chasing after players a lot, definitely put Tireless Defender on. It'll obviously help you keep your stamina up. If you're a guard, you might want to consider investing into this. If you're a big man, you're really not going to need it. You can probably ignore Tireless Defender, but it is still a decent badge for any guard that guards the on-ball ball handler most of the time, since you're probably going to be running around quite a bit. So that's Tireless Defender right there. Next up we have Rim Protector. I'm going to put Rim Protector into the S category right here. This is a very good badge. Not only does it help you get more blocks, it unlocks more block animations for you, and it also boosts your takeover and your teammates takeover when you get blocks. So Rim Protector is a very good badge. I definitely recommend it for any big man build, even some lockdown guard builds and a lot of wing builds too. If you can afford to get Rim Protector, definitely get it. Now the one thing about this badge is once you get up to Hall of Fame, it unlocks hard foul animations in the park. So I don't know if you want that or not. I personally don't like those, so you might only want to put this up to gold instead of Hall of Fame. But if you do like the hard fouls, you can put it all the way up to Hall of Fame and it'll be a great investment. But next up right here we have Rebound Chaser, and I'm going to put Rebound Chaser also into the S category. Pretty simple right here. Rebound Chaser, super good badge, and definitely a badge that you're going to want to invest into for any big man build. So that's Rebound Chaser, not too much to say about it. Super good badge. Next up right here we have Post Move Lockdown. I'm going to put Post Move Lockdown. I'll put into the F category. It's really just not too useful unless you're finding that people are doing post moves against you a lot. But most people who are post up players just do post hooks every time, so you're not really going to have any problem with it, or post fades, and this badge won't really help with this. It more helps with like drop steps and stuff like that, and people don't really do that in this game in any mode, so this badge is pretty much useless. There's so many better badges to put on. Don't put on Post Move Lockdown. It's really not that good. And next up right here we have Pogo Stick. I'm going to put Pogo Stick into the B category. This is a pretty good badge, not amazing, but it is pretty good, and I recommend it for any big man build that can get it, that has enough badges. Obviously if you don't have a lot of discipline and you're jumping all the time, every pump fake you're jumping, every time anybody's near the rim semi-open you're jumping, then you might want to consider investing into Pogo Stick a little bit higher. But for most players, as long as you have a little bit of discipline, you can manage without it, but it is still a very good badge. That's why it goes into the B category right here. And next up we have Pickpocket. Pickpocket also goes into the B category. This is a decent badge. Obviously you're going to see yourself get more on-ball steals with it, but the reason I'm only putting it into the B category is because the boost on how many steals you get with it really is nothing crazy. It gives you a small boost, you'll get a few more steals, but you're not going to get that many. Where this badge actually really shines is when you're reaching for the ball, you're going to get called for a lot less reach fouls, so you can kind of spam reach a little bit more, which can be annoying for the offensive player. So that's a B category badge. It's decent for any guard build. If you have a decent amount of defense badges on your guard build, definitely consider investing into this. Otherwise, you can probably ignore it. And next up right here we have Pick Dodger. I'm going to put Pick Dodger into the A category. Some people might disagree, but I think this badge on Hall of Fame is absolutely goated in every single place you can play: the park, the pro-am, the rec. I think Pick Dodger is very, very essential because a lot of people set screens, and if you can get through those screens even like a millisecond faster, that could be the difference between a made shot and a missed shot. So Pick Dodger is a super, super important badge. I recommend it for any guard build, and basically any build that will guard the on-ball defender. Pick Dodger is super important. Next up right here we have Off-Ball Pest. I'm going to put Off-Ball Pest into the F category. Pretty much useless. Don't worry about getting Off-Ball Pest. I know some people like it, but it's really not that good. Next up right here we have Intimidator. I'm going to put Intimidator into the A category. It's a decent badge. It does make opponents less likely to make shots. I think the number is between 6 and 12% less likely to make shots on Hall of Fame, which might not sound like a lot, but that could really be the difference between winning and losing a game. If you think about it, if an opponent team takes 10 shots per game, in the park I'm saying, if you make them miss one of those shots, then that could really be the difference between your team winning or losing the game, considering how close a lot of park games are. So that's why I'm putting it into the A category right here. I really do recommend it for basically any build that has at least like 5 or 6 defense badges. I think it's a very, very important badge. And yeah, get Intimidator. It's a good badge. Next up right here we have Interceptor. I'm going to put Interceptor into the... I'll put it into the B category, but it really could go into the A category. It's a super, super good badge. Actually, I'll put it into the A category. It really is a good badge. I recommend it for any build that has a decent steal rating and can get Interceptor. It will help you get a lot more passing lane steals, and it is a pretty important badge for defense. So yeah, Interceptor right there, definitely a solid badge. And next up right here we have Hotstopper. I'll put Hotstopper into the S category. This is a very, very good badge. If you have a defensive takeover, definitely consider investing into Hotstopper. You're going to get it in no time. You get one block, you're basically going to have your takeover. Get a couple rebounds, you're basically going to have your takeover. If you're on a guard, if you get a steal or something, you're basically going to have your takeover. And people with defense takeovers are super, super annoying to play against. I'm sure you guys know. And if you don't have a defensive takeover, you might not need it, but if you have enough defense badges, I still recommend investing into it because it will help you boost other takeovers as well. So that's Hotstopper right there. Next up right here we have Heart Crusher. I'll put Heart Crusher into the B category. It really probably is somewhere between B and C. It's not nearly as good as it was on current gen, but it still is a decent badge that I recommend for any lockdown build that can get it, or if you're a big man build, you can get it onto like silver or something, and it will give you a good boost. So Heart Crusher right there in the B category is very good. Next up right here we have Defensive Leader. I'm going to put Defensive Leader into the E category. I really don't recommend this badge. I don't see the usage for it. If you're playing in the park, it's definitely basically useless. I don't recommend it. If you're playing in the pro-am or the rec, which is where you might find some value in it, and why it's the reason it's not in the F category, because if you're playing in a mode like that and you have like 30 defense badges or like 25 defense badges, you could get this up to Hall of Fame and it will give all of your teammates a +4 on defense, which is pretty good, but it's really just not as good as some of these other badges. As you don't get as good of effects as some of these other badges, so that's why it's only in the E category right here. And next up we have Clutch Defender, and I'll put Clutch Defender into the D category. This is an okay badge, but I don't recommend it for most of the time. Really, the only situation where I would recommend Clutch Defender is if you have at least 20 defense badges and you have all of the badges that you need before it, then you could definitely invest into it because it will help you be a better defender in the clutch. But a lot of the times you want to be a better defender all the time, so that's why badges like Rebound Chaser or Hotstopper or Intimidator are better than this badge, but it still is a decent badge that you can consider investing into if you have enough defense badges, if you're a lockdown or something. That's Clutch Defender right there. Next up we have Clamps, and I'm going to put Clamps into the A category. This is a pretty good badge. I definitely recommend it for any guard build that can get it. It's obviously going to help you clamp people up on the perimeter, and it's super important. There's really not too much to say. It's really in between the S and the A category here. Super important badge right there. You don't really need it if you're a big man or if you're not guarding on ball a lot, but if you are guarding on ball, you're definitely going to want to have Clamps as high as possible. Next up right here, we have Chase Down Artist. I'm going to put Chase Down Artist into the C category. The boost you get on Chase Down Artist just isn't as good as it was in current gen or in previous 2Ks, so that's why it only goes into the C category. But it still is decent. You could consider investing into it, but I just think Rim Protector is like a million times better, so that's why Chase Down Artist only gets into the C category right here. Next up right here we have Brick Wall. I'm going to put Brick Wall into the B category. If you set a lot of screens, Brick Wall is an S tier badge for you. You're definitely going to want it. If you don't set a lot of screens, it's an F category badge for you because you're never going to need it. So it's pretty easy for people to know if they're going to need Brick Wall or not. That's why I'm putting it in the B category right here. It doesn't mean that it's only a mid tier badge. It is good if you set screens, and it's bad if you don't set screens, obviously. So you'll know if you need this one. And next up right here we have Box. I'm going to put Box into the A category as well. I think Box is a pretty good badge. If you just get it onto like bronze or something, you're going to be boxing people out a lot better. And if you get it all the way up to Hall of Fame, you're going to be like a box out god. So it is a pretty good badge. If you have enough defense badges to get Box, I definitely recommend it as well. And if you're a big man, it should probably be one of the first badges that you invest into. So Box is very, very good. Next up right here we have Ankle Braces. This is actually the last badge, and I'm going to put this into the E category. Yeah, you don't really need ankle braces, honestly. It's not that good of a badge, and it's not very practical, so that's why it only goes into the E category right here. I really don't recommend that badge under any circumstances. And there you guys go. That is going to be the final badge setup for defense in NBA 2K21 Next Gen. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree or disagree with this list, what you would change, what you would move up, what you would move down, and why. I'm really interested to see what you guys have to say about this. And yeah, that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe to my channel if you're new. Like I said, only 2% of people who watch my videos are actually subbed to my channel, so if you click that subscribe button right now, you can join the 2% gang. I really appreciate it, helps out a lot. And also I stream on Twitch. My Twitch link will be down in the description below. Make sure you go follow me over there if you enjoy watching live streams. I really appreciate all the support over there as well. But yeah, that's gonna be it. All right, peace.